Hello and welcome to another video. Now your GCSE Maths exams are fast approaching. Your first one will be next Friday. So I thought I'd do a video just to give you some hints, tips and tricks with using your scientific calculator. So we're going to go through 4 separate topics, and if you're already comfortable and strong in any of these topics, please feel free to skip along to any one of these particular chapters. Okay, so here is my calculator that I'm going to use, and these are the 4 topics that we're going to look at. So the first one I'm going to focus on is converting between fractions and decimals and simplifying fractions. Now the first thing to remember is that whenever you're typing things into a calculator, it will always give your answer as a fraction. So even if you were to type in something like 0.2 plus 0.5, so if our questions are all decimals, you would expect to write your answer as a decimal, but if you press equals, notice it gives the answer as a fraction. So there is a button on your calculator to convert between fractions and decimals, and that is this one over here. So where it says S and then you've got the double arrow and then D, you're just converting between fractions and decimals. So it should really say FD, that would make more sense. But if you just click that, you're going to go from a fraction to a decimal. If you click it again, you go back to a fraction. So it's just interchanging between fractions and decimals. Okay, so if we go through the first one, simplify 8 over 108. Now, a lot of people, when you've got a calculator, just take advantage of the fact that it does it for you. So if you just type in the fraction button, which is this one up here, it automatically puts the cursor in the numerator. So if you type in 8 in the numerator and then press down to take you to the denominator, type in 108. So we've got our fraction. Now to convert this, or to simplify this, you just press equals and it does it for you. So your answer in the calculator will always give you a fraction in its simplest form. So that is our answer. So our answer, we can just write it down. So we get 2 over 27. We do the same thing for the next one. So if I just press AC, so type in our fraction button, so we've got 48. Go down to our denominator and then 64. So that's our fraction. So we want to simplify it. So just press equals and our answer is 3/4. So our answer is 3/4. So nice and simple trick just to simplify fractions. Okay, now we're converting a decimal to a fraction. So if we just type in the decimal 0.071. Now again, if we just press equals, it does it for you. Okay, so because our calculator gives our answer as a fraction automatically, it converts it between a decimal and a fraction. So our answer is 71 over 1000. And now the last one. So write 12 over 500 as a decimal. So if we press our fraction button, so 12, go down, 500, press equals. So it's converted, it's simplified it. So if we wanted to simplify our fraction, we've done that. And now to convert it to a decimal, we just press the SD button. So press that and we get 0.024. So a nice quick trick to convert between fractions and decimals and to simplify fractions. Okay, now we're going to focus on the second topic, which is prime factorisation. And we're also going to look at the highest common factor and lowest common multiple. So the first question, write 98 as a product of its prime factors. So we need to break 98 down into its prime factors and then multiply those numbers together. So to do that on the calculator, what we're looking for is this fact button here. So this is going to be key. So this fact button in yellow. So the first thing we do is we type in 98 and then press equals. So it's got 98 stored as the answer. Now we need to use this fact button. So we press shift and then these apostrophes. And that gives us our answer. So this is 98 written as the product of its prime factors. So it's going to be 2 times 7 squared. Or you could write 2 times 7 times 7. Either one of these is absolutely fine. They're exactly the same, so you would get the 2 marks for either one of these answers. So if we do the same for the next one, so write 240 as the product of its prime factors. So if we just cancel this, type in 240, press equals. Always remember to press equals because you need the answer saved in the calculator. So once we've got 240 as our answer, we press shift and then these apostrophes. And then we've got our answer again. So we've got 2 to the power 4 times 3 times 5. So this is probably my favourite trick with a calculator because it's such a quick, efficient method of getting the answer. Okay, so we might have a question that's related to this in terms of highest common factor and lowest common multiple. So find the highest common factor of 60 and 114. So what we're going to do is, first of all, if we write out each of these numbers as the products of their primes. So first of all, let's start with 60. So 60, well, that's going to be equal to, so if we put it on the calculator, so 60 equals, and then we do shift, and then this button. So we can see what this is as the product of its primes. So it's 2 squared, but I'm going to write 2 times 2. I'm going to write 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. You're going to see in a moment why I've written 2 times 2 instead of 2 squared. And then if we do the same for 114, so 114 is equal to, so 114 equals, and then click these buttons, and then we get our answer. So 2 times 3 times 19, and now we've got them written as the product of their prime factors. We can easily identify what the highest common factor is. So what do both of these numbers have in common? Well, they both have a 2 in common, so we can write that down. And do they have anything else in common? They do. They have a 2 times 3 in common. You can see they've both got a 3. So here we've got a 2 times 3, and here we've got a 2 times 3. But they don't have anything else in common. We've got 2 and 5 here, and we've got 19 here. So this is our answer, 2 times 3, which is the same as 6. I don't need to calculate for that. I can do that in my head. So our answer is 6. That's the highest common factor. Now, for the lowest common multiple, I'm just going to use a slightly different technique, and I'm going to use the listing strategy. So first of all, let's list out all of the multiples, or not all of the multiples. Let's list out the first few multiples of 70. So 70, the next multiple would be 140. The next one would be 210, 280, 350, 420. I'll do one more, 490. Now let's do the same thing for 56. Now 56 is slightly trickier. I know what the first multiple is. That's obviously 56. But it takes a bit longer to do it in your head. There is a trick we can do with a calculator. So if I do 56 plus 56, that will obviously give me my next multiple, which is 112. If I press plus 56 again, that will give me my next answer, which is 168. Now, because I've already done it twice, the calculator should remember the rule. So it knows to add 56 each time. So all I need to press is equals, and you can see that it's done it for me. So the next one is 224. If I just press equals again, it gives me the next one, which is 280. And just press equals again, it gives me the next one, 336. And I can just keep doing that. But I have spotted that I've found my answer, because I can see that 280 is a multiple of 70. And 280 is also a multiple of 56. So that is my answer, 280. Okay, now the third topic, we're going to look at completing a table of values. And you can see this very first question here, we've got quite a complicated equation here. So using a calculator for this is going to be quite handy. So all we need to do is complete the table of values for this equation. So we don't need to do any plotting. All we're doing is putting in the missing values. So they've given us a value for x. We need to work out the corresponding value for y. And one of them has already been given to us. So for this, we will need to go into table mode in our calculator. At the moment, we're just in the standard calculate mode. But to change modes, you just click on this button here. So this is the menu button. So click on that button and you can see that we're already in calculate mode. That's the default. But we want to go to table mode, which is this one over here, mode 3. So you can just type in 3, or the other way to do it is to click the right arrow key and then go along until you get to the third position, and then just press equals. And now we're in table mode. So what we need to do now is type in our equation. So where it says f of x, that's the same as y. So these two terms can be used interchangeably. So all we're typing in is this expression here into our calculator. So x, first of all, we're typing in x cubed. So the x button, you can see here, it's very small, but you can see this red X, that is the button we're going to use. So because it's in red, we need to press alpha first and then close brackets. So if we press alpha, close brackets, we get the x, and it's going to be x cubed. So our cubed button is over here. So we press this button. Now we've got x cubed, and now we've got minus 3x squared. So minus 3, and then x again. We're going to press alpha, close brackets to get x, and our squared button is over here. And then finally plus 12. So plus 12. So now we've written in our expression. We press equals. It takes us to this screen. Now this is only if you're typing in more than one equation. Okay, but we've only got one equation here, so we can just skip this part. So if we press equals again, now it takes us to what the start and end points are. So we're starting at -2. So if we write in -2, press equals. The end part, so the last number is 3. So press 3 equals, and then this last step is just what are we going up by each time, and we're going up by 1 each time. So our step is 1. So we just press equals, and it gives us our table of values. And notice these table of values have just been transposed. So instead of going across, they're going down. So just be careful there. So when x equals -2, we can see y equals -8. So that's our first one. The next one, when x equals -1, y equals 8, which we've already got. So you can see it's done it correctly. When x equals 0, y equals 12. When x equals 1, y equals 10. And then we're just going to need to go down. So if we press the down arrow key. So when x equals 2, y equals 8. And finally, if we go down once more, when x equals 3, y equals 12. So you can see it's a nice way of filling in, doing a table of values. It does take a bit longer to write in the expression to begin with, but once you've got that, it's much quicker to get your answers. Okay, if we do one more, so complete the table of values for y equals 6 over x. So we're already in table mode, so we don't need to change the mode. So if we just press AC, that will take us back to our expression. And if we just press AC once more, that will delete that expression. So now we can type in a new one. So we're just going to type in this expression into our calculator, 6 over x. So if we type in the fraction button, press 6, go down, and we're going to put in x, which is going to be alpha, close brackets, and then press equals. We don't need to worry about this because we've only got one equation. Press equals. Our start is 0.5. Press enter. Our end is 6. Enter. Our step. Be a bit careful here because it's not 1. Although the difference between these numbers is 1, the difference between these two is 0.5. So if we type in 0.5, although we're going to get more sort of values than we need, we can just skip every other one. So now if we press equals and then equals again, we've got our table of values. So when x equals 0.5, y equals 12. Okay, when x equals 1, y equals 6, we've got that. When x equals 2, y equals 3, we've got that. So if we scroll down, we don't need to worry about the 2.5. If we scroll down to 3, when x equals 3, y equals 2. Scroll down again until we get to 4. Well, we've got 4 already, so let's look at 5. That gives us 1.2, and we've done 6. So now we've done this question. Now, before you do anything else, make sure you go back to calculate mode. Okay, you don't want to be stuck in this mode for future questions. Okay, so if we just click the menu button again, okay, you can see we're in table mode. Make sure we go back to calculate mode. Okay, so press equals, and now we're back in the standard mode. Okay, the fourth and final topic we're going to look at is mixed numbers. So the first questions we're going to look at are improper fractions, and we're going to convert them into mixed numbers. So the first one we've got is 47 over 15. So let's type that into our calculator using the fraction button. We've got 47 over 15 and press equals. You can see we've still got the improper fraction. We already know to convert that to a decimal, we press this button. But if you just look above it in the yellow, this is what we're going to use. So you can see here we've got a mixed number. Again, it's very small. But in here we've got the improper fraction. So we press shift and then SD. And you can see it converts it to a mixed number. So exactly the same as if we were converting between a decimal, but we press shift and then this button. So that's quite nice. So we get our answer, which is 3 and 2 over 15. Okay, let's do exactly the same for the next one. So we've got 50 over 6. So 50 over 6. Press equals, and then press, you can see it's simplified it for us, but that's not what we want. So you press shift and then SD, and it converts it to a mixed number. So that's 8 and 1/3. And I think not a lot of people know about this. A lot of people know about the SD button, but not a lot of people know about the converting to a mixed number. So that's quite cool. So the second one, we're going to convert a mixed number to an improper fraction. So we're just going the other way around. Now, be really careful on this, because a lot of people will do this. Let me just show you. They'll type in 4, and then they'll type in the fraction button, and you can see that it puts the 4 in the numerator of the fraction. That's not what we want. So there is a button dedicated to a mixed number, and you can see above the fraction we've got this one here, and that's what you want. So you press shift and then fraction, and you can see it puts it in the right format for us. So we're going to type in 4 for our whole number, go to the right, and it goes into the numerator. We press 3 and then go down, press 4. So that's our mixed number. We just press equals, and it converts it straight to for us. So our answer is 19 over 4. And then the last one, we just press AC. So we're going to press shift fraction to get our mixed number up. 1, and then go along, press 7, go down, press 12, and our answer is 19 over 12. 19 over 12. And I just want to stress again, this is the second time I'm stressing this, is that hopefully you already know how to do this. Okay, so this is, again, if you just have a brain fart in the exam, you can just try and revert to this on the calculator. Okay, let's just finish up with a problem-solving type of question. So Gregory feeds his cat 2/5 of a can of cat food each day. Work out how many cans of cat food are eaten each fortnight. And it says give your answer as a mixed number. So a mixed number. So how much does he have in a fortnight? Well, a fortnight, well, that is going to be 14 days. 14 days. If he's having 2/5 of a can each day for 14 days, the total number of sort of cans he's going to have, we're just going to multiply. So it's going to be 2/5. So 2 over 5, and then multiplied by 14. So that gives us our answer as a improper fraction, but it's asking us as a mixed number. So to convert this to a mixed number, well, it's this yellow button here. So we press shift and then SD, and we've got our answer. So 5 days and 3/5 of a day, or we could say 5 3/5 days. Or not days, cans. What am I thinking of? These are cans, because we're talking about the amount of food. So our answer is in cans. So that is our answer there. So we have come to the end of our 4 topics. So hopefully that you found that useful. And as I've said before, many a time, please try and reason your way through all of the questions first. And only when you get stuck, then you can turn to these tricks. So thank you for watching, and good luck in your exams. Take care.